Hi guys! Okay, so this week I really want to talk about emotional regulation. Sounds really fun and sexy, but it is so important. It's such a breakthrough for me this week. So, to give you some context, I have been on 3 offers, and the last 3 weeks I have not been taking care of my health. I've been working an average of 19 to 20 hours a day, nonstop. So I have had no time for myself. I have no social life. I'm not going to the gym or anything like that, and not getting much sleep, like 4 to 5 hours on average. So I started to see how that affected my health. I was getting panic attacks and just not feeling healthy. The panic attacks really were because I was on an offer that was really heavy. So I started taking calls for one of my 3 offers, and this one was for helping women with chronic migraines. These conversations were really heavy. I had no idea that the conversations I would be having were going to be this intense. Um, I talked to a woman the other day who was being hospitalized twice a week for her migraines, where she couldn't sleep, she couldn't work, she couldn't even keep food down. She was constantly gagging. She couldn't see properly without having those special blurred out glasses. She's in her late 30s, living at her parents' house. She's gone through all her savings to try and fix her migraines. They're just getting worse. She's getting pumped full of medication, just making it worse because you know, people have been indoctrinated to think that the medical industry actually helps you when it's the complete opposite. Um, so, you know, all these things that she think are helping her are actually triggering her and making her worse. And she's at the point where her livelihood is at stake, her life is at stake, her parents' livelihood is at stake, and she's literally living no life at all. She's actually just in pain all the time. And the doctors are talking about putting tubes down her throat to help her breathe, to help her be nourished. She can't even talk because of the pain from all these tubes down her throat. So guys, like, wow, I kind of lost it on the call. There's a thing with this that you can't want it more than they do, and that's been a huge thing for me to understand, because this is very difficult when you're dealing with situations like that, and you have to stay really steady and not let it completely destroy you in the way that, like, you feel such responsibility to help this person because you can help them. You can literally change your life if you get them on this program because you believe in it so much and you see the results, but you have to somehow lead them to that decision without forcing it on them. And this is such a big thing. Emotional regulation is so important. So this is about showing up to your calls with your energy intact. So much of our communication is through nonverbal. It's energy. And I know that sounds like a bit woo-woo and witchcrafty, but it's a thing, okay? So, like, you can say all the right things. You can care. You can communicate eloquently. You can show up with the best intentions. But if you are coming to the calls with too much emotion, too much like a nervousness or a fear or like an intensity that is just not regulating this other person's across the call, their nervous system, then they're not going to make a decision in a place of dissonance. They're going to be emotionally dysregulated themselves, and then their sympathetic nervous system is going to click into gear, and they're going to want to fight or flight. And when you fight or flight, you can't really make logical decisions. So most of the time it's, I need to think about it. It's too much. They're feeling overwhelmed. So that's the part of this that really clicked for me, is that I was getting I was absorbing way too much emotion from these calls and like really feeling huge responsibility to help these women. And that was working against me because I think I was showing up with too much emotion, too much dysregulated energy. I wasn't taking care of myself either, and that probably translated in a way that, again, it's like it's not necessarily a thing that you say, but it's how your energy is. And human beings are so intelligent, and living beings in general, like animals, like that's why we can just feel things, you know. There's another realm to this that is so much more than a script, is so much more than the carrying of our hearts. It's about how we spiritually are grounded. So yeah, I think after I basically decided to leave that offer because it was affecting my health. I was getting panic attacks from it, and it was also affecting how I was showing up with my other offers. And this is important to also know when to leave an offer. So if you feel like you've tried everything, that you're really doing everything you can, you're taking on that feedback, you're implementing, but you're realizing it's affecting your health in a negative way, and you're not actually helping these women, that's a real time to consider if this is really right for you. And it's not that it's something wrong with you. It may just be timing. It may just be the right fit. You know, some people have certain skills than others. You know, for example, a woman in this offer might do really well if has a little bit more detachment and can lead these women without a little bit more calmly and not be so rattled. Yeah. And for me, that was just really, really hard. I haven't developed that skill yet. I really absorb things. So that's the thing I'm going to work on, and really you can't do that without being regulated yourself. So that shows up in how you take care of yourself in a day-to-day. And that was my problem. So that's what I'm focusing on now. And I want to just encourage you guys to take care of yourselves, keep yourself emotionally regulated, and realize that you're not only leading them through your expertise, through your communication and your intention, but also through your energy. And yeah, take that really on board. Okay, so I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And next video, I want to either touch on, I'm going to be start taking calls for this next offer, which is really exciting. And so I'll either talk about that, or we'll talk about the marketing of an offer that's really important to have, because that's something else I've realized does play a huge part in the process of when you get them on the call. Because if that isn't pre-handled in, I don't know how to say this. We'll talk about it in the next video. But for now, focus on emotionally regulating yourselves and see how that will make you a better closer. This is like the root cause of everything. Okay, bye guys. Have a great week.